thanks for welcoming me here. It's the first time I'm here in Latvia, Riga. It's really great to come out and see all the people and what's going on. It's always the people I like. Of course, it's nice to go in the town, but it's also always the stories that is really interesting. I heard when the minister spoke initially, I heard a few words there: social, business, real-time, innovation. I think that was.
Yeah, you looked pretty Latvian when you spoke, when the minister spoke.
Yeah, but that is really what I have been working with the last 7 years. This is a short introduction. I have a presentation later called the Enabling Municipality, where I will go into detail and really what I have been working with since 2007. But shortly about who I am. I'm Bert Ola Bergstrand. You can't hear my dialect, but I'm from North Sweden, and I live since 13 years in Gothenburg, which is if you know Sweden, the geography, it's the second biggest town in southwest of Sweden. It has, probably like Riga. I don't know how many people are living here in Riga.
800,000.
800, so it's roughly the same size in West Sweden, and the town of Gothenburg has 500,000, so I think it's roughly the same. I make my PhD very much the same as you do in the same field, look at local economy development, and that's how I came into this field. Started in November 2006 to work on my PhD, and it seems to drag on forever. So now I'm more looking at what's going on and try to provide spaces for social innovation. But in my study I look at the business role in how to develop local economies, and municipality is the space I look at, municipality, but also in a regional context in West Sweden, which I will come into later in the presentation. It's also about how you can develop the region. We have 49 municipalities in West Sweden, which is 1/5 of Sweden, just to give you a rough size. Company analysis is my field at School of Business. Social Capital Forum is an NGO that I set up in 2009. I think it's pretty much what you do now, try to make seminars, development of processes, how can you create knowledge about local development. Also work with, could also say social innovation and region, West Sweden, called Corporate Social Responsibility West Sweden, which is a public-private partnership about how to take responsibility for regional development in West Sweden. So it's a platform for them. In November, for example, they will introduce something called Good Society. So how can you connect actors more efficient together? So it's a type of social innovation. I'm also setting up something called Living Bridges Planet, which is more digital innovation platform, where it's a learning and action platform where we connect networks around the world and try to have, by Hangouts and by Facebook and LinkedIn and different formats, we try to connect with people and ideas and also start to do projects. And we have done that for 2 years now and started some projects recently, one called Youth Empowerment, for example. And Renata has been part 2 or 3 times there. So I hope many of you will join in, and it's totally open and free, so the more people and diversity, the better. I also introduced since 2009, you can say, how to invest in Sweden in social innovation and social entrepreneurship. So we connected with a platform in San Francisco called Social Capital Markets, where I was in early September. Here is from Golden Gate Bridge in the background and from the conference. And that's one of the questions around social innovation. How can you start to invest in social enterprise? And social enterprise, social entrepreneurs it's not easy. I think Bitten is one of the greatest examples you have in Sweden and Norway, with a lot of experience how to get financing, how to get understood by people. You are doing something that many people in the traditional field or business or maybe the state or the region don't understand. Do you agree what I say?
Well, but it's getting better. It's improving.
It's getting better, but it's something new coming. There's an incredible discussion ongoing now in Sweden. We have one social innovation called social innovation bonds that will be an obligation, or in US it's called pay for success. Did you speak something about that? Social impact bonds.
No. In my presentation, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
No.
I think I will go into that. It's a little bit complex, but it's basically that Sweden has a big welfare state, a lot of taxed money, and that is, of course, if you want to continue to have that welfare, we need to find new innovations, more efficient use of the money, basically. And the social impact bond, it's a financial vehicle which really tells that if you, an entrepreneur here, would have a solution on something that is taxed, paid, that you do in the department of the municipality, if you have a new method for reducing the cost in the budget, then you can get a small percentage, a profit on the reduction. So it's an incentive to make it more effective. It started in 2010 in prisons, where you have a quite clear cost in UK and Peterborough, and today there are 14 impact bonds in UK. So this is coming, and it's a big discussion. Of 290 municipalities in Sweden, I think there are 70 municipalities that are looking into or have just started to set up impact fund. So that might be interesting for you in the future. But it's really growing the interest around social innovation, and how can you start to get new knowledge, a lot of learning like you are doing here. What is it? People start to understand we need to do something, but they don't know what is it. Basically, how do you work together to solve the challenges you have? And you need to find out that yourself. That is the social innovation that's my definition. You have challenges in all local environments, and they might be a little bit different, sometimes similar, but you need to do it together, and that's the type of social innovation. And you can do it with platforms or gatherings or coffee shops where you gather or something. That's part of the social innovation. I'm also helping out some small social enterprises. All Win is working with the waste of food, which is incredible waste for the food production and for people who don't get food basically to eat. In Sweden there are around 100,000 people today, of 9 million, that don't have food for the day. So, and there's lots of waste. So environmental problem and social problem. And All Win is a great case where you can find, also in English I think, the business model. They collect by small trucks food from companies that produce food and bring them to homeless and so forth, and try to get business. They are running, they are profitable, and they solve something. So it's a typical social entrepreneur. I'm also part of another social enterprise called Fair Sex, which is, they work with clothing, stockings and want to make the issue of trafficking in the society. So to work with policy making and go to the government in Sweden and make with theaters and exhibitions, but they also have a product they want to sell to get income for that. So it's also a very innovative thing. And lastly, I have been part of in this Helsinki Sustainability Center that a friend of me started in 2 years back now, with future looking and try to the Finnish economy more. So that is, that's what I do. It's a little bit of everything. can say. That's social innovation.
Varbūt ir kādi jautājumi. Tas ir vienkārši pagaidām tāda, lai jūs saprotat, ar ko cilvēks nodarbojas, ja? Un ir kādi jautājumi, ko gribētu precizēt? Just asking if you have any questions.
Yeah, and I can also say when we started, I started with one project around this one, 2006. We never used social innovation. So it was maybe the last 1-2 years. Other people started, but you're working with social innovation. So it's like the concept come from some other place, but I think that is telling a little bit about the field now.
Okay.